In this video, we will install and calibrate a 2 mg per milliliter titrant. We will calibrate it by entering in the known value of the titer. You should have already programmed the reagent and method. But first, I would like to give an overview of the electrical and plumbing connections for the TIM580-585 Karl Fischer titrator. Here is the dual platinum electrode installed into the bayonet head along with its special BNC banana plug adapter that attaches to the back of the titrator. The solvent is dry methanol. It should have desiccant already added to the desiccant tube. The clear plastic tube attaches to the left side of the solvent pump. The white plastic tube must reach to the bottom of the methanol bottle. It feeds through the red hole of the bayonet holder only a few centimeters. Here you see the waste bottle, and its white tube barely goes in but a few centimeters below the cap. The waste bottle does not need desiccant. Its clear tube attaches to the right side of the solvent pump. Now the white plastic waste tube must reach the bottom of the cell. You want to make sure all the caps and tubes are attached securely, since the pump uses air pressure to move the solvent. The titrant is a single composite with a titer of 2 mg water per milliliter titrant. It must contain desiccant in the desiccant tube. Here is a shot of all the plugs in the bayonet head. To install and calibrate the titrant, you must be in the Reagents tab. Scroll down to Install Reagent. Select Reagent Setup since this is the first time we are using the titrant. You will use bottle exchange if you are replacing an empty bottle of the same reagent or replacing one that has expired. The two procedures are very similar. Now enter in a batch number and an expiry date for the titrant. Now the rinse option prompts you to rinse the lines with methanol between bottles. But we're going to select no rinse because our tubing is clean and has had a similar titrant in its lines. Use your cell beaker to collect the waste. I'm now prompted to remove the old reagent bottle. And now you're prompted to install the new reagent bottle. and the lines are flushed with the new reagent. We will now calibrate the titrant by entering its value. Make sure the titrant that you want to calibrate is in line 1. Now enter a user ID. Enter 2 for titer. And enter the lot number of the titrant. We are now finished with installing and calibrating our reagent. The smiley faces at the bottom of the Reagent tab indicate that we are ready to analyze samples. We now need to clean the cell, so scroll over to the Cell tab. You want to turn on the stirrer. Now take note here that the menu for the TIM880 is slightly different than the menu for the TIM580. And now start the pump. Press the empty key on the solvent pump, and that empties your solvent beaker. When the cell is empty, press the fill key and fill it with fresh solvent. And repeat this until the solvent is clear. Finally, fill the cell with fresh solvent to just above the line on the beaker. The platinum electrodes should be fully immersed in the solvent. Stop the pump and stirrer. And start standby mode to initiate the drift determination. This removes water from the solvent and maintains the cell in a state of preparation for running samples.